Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, the revolution seemingly only lasted a little news cycle. You know, last week there was confetti flying in the air. A socialist revolution is about to take place in New York City. Kumbaya. Systemic racism, systemic poverty, and inequality, medieval capitalism has been defeated. New York is about to trailblaze and vindicate everything Hasanabi has ever said on Twitch.tv.
I no longer have to prove that this kind of politics works. I can just point the fucking Zohran.
Well, it went from hallelujah, the socialist revolution is upon us, to reality frickin' check. There is no socialist revolution. You all got played by a Democratic socialist candidate who made a bunch of frickin' promises that he could not deliver, and that he probably knew he couldn't deliver. But of course, like every good socialist always does, they lie and lie and lie and false promise anything to get in that position of power, and then of course betray your voters after obtaining that seat. Well, it's already started. There is no socialist revolution in New York City. Kathy Hochul and probably National Democrats, like I've been telling you, are not going to play nice with Mamdani. They will not greenlight his agenda. They're working behind the scenes overtime to sabotage him, probably to make sure that he's a one-term mayor. And the sabotage has already begun. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so firstly, I want to start off with this Kyle Kulinski tweet. You know, Kyle was really pushing the Mamdani victory probably better than anyone else. He started the trend of woke is back. Haha, you MAGA chuds are seething. Yeah, no, we aren't. MAGA BTFO'd, Mamdani won. First of all, we don't care. New York City is your domain. You guys want to run your city into the ground? No Republican's going to stop you. Nobody is seething, and everybody pretty much sees the writing on the wall that this whole thing's going to be a disaster. But in Kyle Kulinski's little victory lap, he's been posting memes that are really, in my view, aging like sour milk. We got this one. We got a Make America Great Again crying girl hiding under the desk, and in comes Mamdani saying free buses. Yeah, well, you might want to put that one on hold, little Kylie boy, because in comes the Democrat governor of New York City saying no free buses.
I just want to set the stage that, you know, you look at the history of people who've run multi-million-dollar ad campaigns to try and get me to change my position. I don't change my position. So I just want to put it out there. I respect people's opinions. I respect the proper place to convey them. And so I've said to people, I hear you. And that was important. But also, there's a time and place.
Oh, wow, I'm so shocked and surprised. No, not shocked, not surprised. It's what I've been saying since day one. Mamdani is going to be thwarted and sabotaged at every single point. You know, he's promised everything, but he's not even in a position to be able to deliver those promises. He's the mayor of a city. He's not the governor of the state. There's a big difference. And sure, you know, he's the mayor of a big city, but he's not pulling the levers. He's a frickin' pawn. He's a face, a puppet. And the big dollars, they flow through Albany. The governor holds the pen. And so you can conjure a billion slogans all you want. But at the end of the day, you're acting. And that's really all Mamdani has done throughout this entire campaign. It's all been an act. He's gonna do this and he's gonna do that. He's Oprah Winfrey with the New York billionaires' money. We're gonna increase their taxes. I love the way he's been saying that, right? We're gonna match taxes like in New Jersey. The mayor of New York City cannot do that. New Jersey has some of the highest state taxes, especially corporate state taxes, and that, of course, is a state-level play. You need the state legislature and the governor to enact those kinds of reforms. The idea that the mayor of New York City is going to make that happen, you're out of your damn mind. It's never going to work. And not to mention, again, Kathy Hochul has come out publicly stating that she will not support that agenda.
We know that Mamdani does want to tax the rich more, bring it up about 2%. He can't do that on his own. You've previously said that you wouldn't be raising taxes. Have you reconsidered that stance?
No, I would say one energetic rally does not get me to change my positions, I assure you. But I do hear people's voices. I process what everybody says, but I'm also have to balance governing this state and making sure that those people who are actually the reason we have a generous, supportive budget that helps lift people up. It's their revenues that we tax. 1.5% of New Yorkers cover about a third of our budget. That's enormous. I'm concerned about outmigration of people who are the ones who are supporting our budget. I cannot make up for that with middle class tax increases. I cannot do that to the middle class and the struggling New Yorkers. So this is the balance. I mean, this is my position.
And so all you socialist revolutionaries with your freaking bowl cuts and your septum rings thinking that you guys voted in revolution in New York City, you did not. You did nothing except for get played. You got hoodwinked by another fancy socialist. You were sold a revolution, but all you've gotten here is a big frickin' dud, an actor, a clown. The math behind his policies never made sense. And you know what? You're lucky. You're lucky that you're getting saved from your own electoral stupidity, because all the policies that he was pushing would have made you poorer. It wouldn't have made your life better. There's no such thing as government artificially reducing the cost of living, especially not in New York City. New York City is expensive not because of the evil billionaires, but because of basic market dynamics. It's the biggest and most influential business city in the world. It's frickin' New York City. It's the Big Apple. If you can't afford to live there, you simply cannot afford to live there. Go live in New Jersey. Live off the island of Manhattan. That's the way that it is. There's no entitlement to living a fancy life in Manhattan. If you can't cut it in the Big Apple, leave. It's called basic supply and demand. It's a market. And any attempt to manipulate that market from a government level will fail spectacularly. And that's the funniest thing of this whole ordeal. As if Mamdani is a revolutionary character that's promising all kinds of different things that have never been done before. No, he doesn't have these fancy ideas that no one has ever thought of. Ooh, I'll give you this for free. Free everything. Ooh, free this and free that. Can we stop pretending as if this is some sort of sophisticated policy proposal and reform? It's not. It's the same failed nonsense that we've seen time and time again. And really, after the last decade of woke failures, and even beyond that, but really the last decade has been nothing but woke reforms in all of America's biggest cities, and all we have seen is utter disaster. New York City has even been trending right. The state as a whole has been trending right, because Democrats implemented all kinds of woke nonsense with Bill de Blasio, and it ended in disaster. The idea that you would forget all of that recent history and then vote for this guy, it's mind-boggling. The guy's got zero experience, and he's now filling his cabinet positions. It seems as though he's just doing nothing but a massive DEI virtue signal, just empowering all kinds of woke whammons, a bunch of friggin' overly educated, zero experience female characters that he's uplifting in these positions of power. Well, what do you think you're gonna get? He's doing the same thing Justin Trudeau did in Canada. What did that lead to? Just total societal collapse. People can't afford homes. An economy that's totally stagnated and is being propped up by mass migration. It's the same frickin' thing. A young socialist revolutionary coming in to save the day with no real world experience. His number one proposal is just putting a bunch of whammons in position of power. Then comes reality. In order to govern, you need coalition, which he doesn't have. You need support at the state level, which he doesn't have. You need ideas that work, which he certainly doesn't have. You need experience. Running a city is complex. It's a very highly complex organism, especially a city like New York. And of course, to fund all of your generous proposals, you need strong economic foundation, which he is vowing to destroy. You want to do business in New York? He's saying we're going to tax you. You want to be successful in New York? We're going to tax you. He's going to drive away investment, drive away productive people, drive away the wealthy that are paying roughly 50% of the taxes, and even more if you account for not just the most wealthy, but people making in the 3, 4, 500,000 range, all the way up to the millions. He's disincentivizing success, disincentivizing entrepreneurship and business. In other words, the tax coffers are going to dry up, they'll be working with less, and he will not be able to afford anything. And now he's talking about taking away one of the state's or one of the city's biggest revenue sources, public transit. If anything, what he should be doing is going after the fare hoppers and ensure that public transit is pulling in the money necessary for it to thrive, survive, and improve. No, but instead he wants to impose another multi-hundreds of millions of dollars tax burden on the people as he's scaring away the most productive of people. It's idiotic. It makes absolutely no sense. And his policies will lead to a decaying public transit system, decaying public housing. But in this case, I don't even think we're going to get there because he doesn't have support from Albany. In other words, he's going to be a dud, a failure. This is the easiest prediction of all time. The Democrats don't want him. They sully the Democratic brand. They don't want AOC and Mamdani taking over in New York City. They are going to sabotage him. They are going to make sure he is a one-term mayor, and he's going to go out like a laughing stock, just like Bill de Blasio. I mean, mark my words. I feel like I don't even have to really make that complex of an argument. Just let time speak for itself. Watch the timeline. By the end of this guy's term, New Yorkers are going to turn on him. Right now, he's riding a high, but pretty soon, he'll be on a crash course towards an all-time low. This is going to be an absolute disaster of a mayoral term, and that's probably the easiest prediction I've ever made. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.